Welcome back to Corgi Comics, everyone. Today is a little bit of a different day. Then again, all of my videos have been pretty different because a few things are kind of going into changes, or kind of having some changes with the channel and the art style and stuff like that. I've still been kind of like making progress with how I want this channel to actually be, and so right now I'm still in the stages of getting some help with the exact like art style and character design that I want. So I mean, that's probably going to be changing fairly soon. It's not done yet, but it's pretty close. So I hope you all will like the new change. I'm still using the trial software for editing videos and whatnot, just because I don't know how permanent of a thing this is right now, and it's not permanent enough for me to warrant purchasing a software, so I've been using this trial. But I mean, if anyone has any ideas of like a better software to use, or one that won't have a watermark if you don't want to pay for it, you know, that kind of thing, yeah, feel free to give me that heads up, because I would love to know. But until then, there's probably still going to be a little bit of a watermark, you know, the usual. But I mean, it's not too bad. I don't mind it, mainly because a lot of my videos just a white screen anyway, so it kind of blends in. But it won't stay that way forever. If at any point I feel like this is becoming a more serious thing. So I figured today I would just talk a little bit about certain things that happened throughout my week, or things that bugged me throughout my week, or just little funny stories that had happened to me. I would think that the first one is probably the highlight of my week. So, for those of you who may not know, I've been working in a restaurant for a couple years now, and you know, you would think I would know what I'm doing, and I would think I know what I'm doing. So we had hired this new person. Oh man, my walls. We'd hired this new person recently, and he has been a little difficult is an easier way to say it, rather than what I want to say, I suppose. But last week well, to give it some background, I invited a couple of people that I know to come and have lunch at the place that I work at, and we give these little feedback things for everyone at the end of their meal. And you're supposed to get a certain amount in a day, and that's like, it's part of your job. So of course I was gonna have my boyfriend and his friend do a couple for me to make it easier. And when they got there, I guess this person that had just got hired on had tried to get them to do his rather than mine, and he kind of like went about it a pretty rude way. So of course that's gonna kind of make me feel a little iffy towards this new hire, I would suppose. And of course they're not going. Of course they told me right away when he said that to them. They're not gonna not tell me. So I don't know how he thought he was gonna get away with it. But oh, I don't like the stairs. Besides that point, on Friday, I think, we were super busy because it's Friday, obviously, and I don't like those either. And he had grabbed a couple plates, and he looked like he was struggling with them, and I was the expediter that day, so I tried to give him a little bit of advice. I was like, you know, if you hold these plates a little bit different, it'll be a lot easier for you to carry more, and it won't be too shaky for you. You know, just trying to give friendly advice, you know. And of course, he was just kind of like, oh, okay, and like he kind of brushed it off, and I turned around because I had more stuff to plate up. And when I turned back, there was two people there. There was this person, we're gonna call him Tim, and there was another person, we're gonna call him Steven. Well, Steven was still there. He had heard the whole thing, and he looked at me and he was like, hey, Tim called you nitpicky. You know, you would think that wouldn't be like the worst thing to happen, but from this guy's attitude throughout the whole like time that I've known him, all like week, it kind of rubbed me the wrong way, and I'll be the first to admit it, that it did make me more angry than it should have. So I looked at him and I was like, I don't know how many of you watch The Walking Dead, but I had a moment where I felt like this main like character in it, and it was kind of funny in a way, because when he had told me, I was like, I didn't want to be mean today, but I guess I'm gonna have to be mean today. And it doesn't really sound like it now, but in that moment, I felt like Negan from The Walking Dead. And so I waited for Tim to come back. And sure enough, he came back fairly quickly. And I looked at him and I was like, listen, I get that you're new here, but I'm not. I've been here for a couple years now. I know what I'm doing. And it's not appreciated that if you've got something to say, you need to tell me. You don't need to tell Steven or anybody else, only me. And he got this wide-eyed look in his face, and he looked terrified. He was like, no, I meant you're all nitpicky, not just you. And I was like, listen, I don't care what you think you said. I care about what you said about me. So if you have anything else to say, you need to come to me and no one else. And he was, at the end of it, he was terrified, and he kept saying, yes ma'am, over and over again. And it was the most hilarious thing that had ever happened to me, because I have never been yes ma'amed in my entire life. And this was just the peak of my career at this place. It was the best thing that had ever happened. And so for the rest of the day, he pretty much ignored me unless like he needed something, because I think he was just scared. So hopefully nothing like that happens again. Otherwise, I'm gonna need to be yes ma'amed again, because I'm gonna get on his case. And I don't want anyone to think that I was being mean for no reason. He had been getting on everybody's nerves. He had been talking about everybody. He hadn't been there a week, and he was already trying to talk bad about the people that had been there since the beginning, because we still have people that have been there since the place opened. Like, I had been there since the place opened. And you can't just get hired and then start talking bad about people that work there, especially if they've been there a lot longer than you have. But for work, I think that's pretty much it. Another thing that really makes me mad in the week is where I live, there's this outdoor area, and it's fenced in where you can walk your animal. And it's a fairly big area. Like, you wouldn't really expect anyone to kind of like crowd on you when you walk. Like, you would think there'd be plenty of room for everybody to walk their animal without any interruption. But I guess people, at least in this building, really, really like to be super uncomfortably close to you when you walk your animal. Or at least in my case it is. Basically, there's this one specific lady that lives here, and she's got a very old Cocker Spaniel, and she's just got this presence about her that's very unnerving in a lot of ways. And she's got this, like, really, it's gonna sound terrible, but she's got this really creepy smile. And I don't think I've ever not seen her smile. Because every time she's approached me, it's from afar, and she's got this like, I can see all 32 of those teeth smile. Even just thinking about it right now kind of creeps me out, because it's like, why does one lady just waltz around here with her dog trying to crowd up on everybody else that's trying to get their dog to go to the bathroom and go back inside? There was this one time a few days ago, I would say, I was walking my dog, and it was like 12 o'clock at night, and I would just, I just wanted to walk him and go back inside and go to bed because I had work the next day. And I go to this area where there's not a lot of people, even at midnight, there's no one out, but I went to this area where there wasn't usually a lot of people, even when it's daytime, and I'm doing my thing, I'm walking the dog, he's almost done, and I'm getting ready to go back inside, and I turn around, and I see her, like, slowly walking towards me with that creepy smile, and that really, really old dog just trudging along. The dog doesn't even want to come over there, mind you, it's just kind of following her. And so I try to politely avoid it by going a different direction, and I'm in an entirely different area now of the building, and I look behind me, and I look around, and I don't see her, so I think, oh good, I've avoided it today. And I would hope I avoided it, but I look around and she's not there, so I go back to just looking at the dog while he's trying to find a spot, and I hear the jingle. And I think to myself, no, there's no way she's followed me all the way over here. Like, that's too much even for her. That's not a thing. Ladies and gentlemen, it was a thing. Look up, and coming around the corner, white teeth and all, Smiley. So I think to myself, where can I go? And I go to the only place that I can think of. I go to this corner of the building where no one goes, because it's literally just a corner with a little patch of dirt that they have a plant planted in, and like, you don't walk your dog over there, like nobody does. So I go there, and I think this is the only way I can get away from her. There's no way she's gonna come over here. That's too weird even for her. Oh god. Nothing's too weird for this lady, apparently, everyone. Because, as you might have guessed, mid-walk, I can hear the jingle of the leash, and she's still coming. This goes on for about maybe 5 to 7 minutes, I would say. Pretty much the entire time I was out there, she was on my tail following me. And so I'm finally done, and we finally go back inside, and I'm shocked. Like, why would you follow somebody all around a courtyard when you know they don't want to say anything to you, when you know that they don't want to talk to you, just because you want your dog to smell their dog? Like, it doesn't make sense to me. Especially when you go about it so fucking creepy. I don't understand it. I really don't understand it. But I suppose that's the end of that tale. I guess I should mention why this isn't really a comic. This is just The Sims. This is also something that I kind of want to do on this channel. I kind of want to be able to have moments where I just kind of ramble on, like I just did. And I really enjoy just playing The Sims, so I figured this is kind of an easy game to play. while I talk about, you know, my week, or if I have something particular that I want to talk about. I figure this would be a great time because this is like one of the more relaxing games to play. Where there was one game today that was not relaxing in the slightest. What was it called? It was. It's. I guess it's this new game called PlayerUnknown Battlegrounds. And shout out to Thomas, who kept me safe. Played that for the first time today, and I did very well. I killed someone. It was very successful, but it was the most stress I have ever felt in my life compared to when I used to play this old game called Rust. I played many hours of that. I got about 300 logged in on Steam. But it took me right back to the days where my heart just constantly pounded and probably gave me some type of heart issue later in life that I'm going to have to deal with. But it was well worth it because you know how some people can get a rush from driving a fast car or shooting a gun? Well, you can get all of those things just by playing this game, because guess what? You could shoot a gun and drive a fast car, or in this case, dune buggy, I would say. But it was a good game. It was terrifying, but it was a good game. I would probably play it again, just maybe, you know, when I'm not terrified of cardiac arrest. And also, be sure to let me know if these type of videos are interesting, I guess, because I don't know, when I watch people online, sometimes I like to have background noise when, you know, I'm cleaning or I'm working on something, and it's just kind of nice to hear somebody tell stories about their day or their week or something. So if you like these type of kind of like a week in rewind story thing, I mean, that'd be cool. I hope you like it, but just yeah, let me know, because this is something that I might want to do more if people like it. If not, I'm probably still gonna do it because I think it's fun. Yeah. I also have this other game that I eventually want to play. I don't know if I'm gonna play it. I got it from these other YouTubers called, I'm sure everybody knows them. I got it from Jenna Marbles and her boyfriend Julian, and it's called Nuclear Winter. And I've tried to explain the game to a few people now, and I don't know if they're really into it, but I still want to play it because I think it's fun. So look forward to that. I don't know when that'll happen, but hopefully it happens within the year. But other than that, I think I might call this one good, and next time you see this, it will probably be finished. This house, not this video. This video is already going to be done. But, yeah. So, be sure to let me know if you like this type of thing, and if you think it's interesting. And I'll try to do it more, and thank you for listening to me ramble. See you soon.